gets like Aghanims and whatnot along. But this last pick Luna, I love it. I actually think it sets the pace, and I'm actually quite worried for T1 about just holding on to the game. I think the pressure and the tower push that FNATIC can do at this draft is crazy. Something that teams overlook and something I've seen Tundra do. This Lunar Blessing with Visage, it is insane. The familiars getting the bonus damage, this rate, like the attack speed rate that they get with that bonus damage, it's absolutely insane. They do have the Wyvern to offset it, so for me, it's Eyes on Zephyr to be able to really set up the defenses around those early towers and the early pressure that I feel like FNATIC's going to be setting. So yeah, Eyes on Wyvern, and I'm just looking for explosive damage FNATIC has, because I think every single one of the heroes on their draft synergizes really well together, and yeah, so much damage. And it's all different types of damage. I like that Kevin pointed out at the end there, even like the Eclipse has a lot of benefits this game, playing into this, some squishy heroes before BKB. So yeah, I'm really loving it. This looks like a Tundra draft to me from FNATIC. And T1's gone for more of a greedy style. And we'll see if that does pay off. I am glad also to see no CK in these games. Right?
We're getting a lot of CK, and it's...
I think we had 5 CK games in a row. So I'm kind of glad to see it going away, even though it did lose one game. We are seeing that one disappear at least one game. We still did get a Mars. I know we had one game where Mars was not picked in these last like 6 or 7 or 8 games even, but now he's back. And what'd you get? What were they saying?
I was trying to
Could you get the translator or not?
I couldn't get it translated. I'm sure we've got some viewers at home translating into the chat.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I can only imagine there's some friendly all chat banter here coming out.
Let's see how top does too. I know SBG talked about it at the end there, this power that we've seen from Tundra doing this draft, the Doom plus Visage, especially versus these Agi carries, can be really problematic. Look at Whitemon starting items. I think that tells the tale of it all. 2 salves just to start the lane off on a Pugna, which you usually don't see the double salves on these 5 positions, but he knows the Scorched Earth, the Soul Assumption spam, it's gonna be there. So has to have some way to offset it. And the thing is too is, the Doom and the Visage are playing into a PA, so they're always gonna have mana to spam out from those stick charges.
Yeah, that's true. You've almost got to be careful about how many daggers you're throwing around up here.
I'm really looking at the lanes, right? Because I think FNATIC, it's all about lane dominance into early pressure, and T1, they have to be able to weather the storm and let this PA get online and farm. If Gabby is able to do that, I can absolutely see Gabby carrying this game, but it's going to take some time. It's going to be like 30 plus, 35 plus minutes for the most part.
No, especially seeing as, you know, how strong Gabby carried that last game.
Yes.
You know, that was a fantastic carry performance on his Monkey King.
Best Monkey King game of the tournament for me. So if anyone can do it with these type of heroes, it would be Gabby, but look at this already. Like, immediately has to get salved on the first wave. So I see top lane looking pretty dominant for FNATIC. Bottom, this double range should be pretty strong with the Lunar Blessing. And mid, Storm will get his farm, but it's definitely a winning lane also for RML. So it does feel like they put themselves in a position to potentially win all 3 lanes.
Yeah, both mids pushing each other to the edge there. Carl and Armel. Armel should be the one to keep the edge on this. And in terms of availability of supports to come in, I mean, are we going to see any chance of, you know, FNATIC being able to punish Storm pre-level 6?
I don't think they want to move top. Jabs. Actually, almost going down.
Those 1 charges will just save him. Gabby not quite able to stay in range or with vision to get another dagger out.
Oh, he got the creep, Owen.
Oh, it's the nasty one.
He got the mana burn with the mana aura. All right, so they already had infinite mana from Styx now, but now they actually have infinite mana, and they'll be able to offset a lot of T1s. The only thing I'm looking at is what Whitemon's going to be able to do to offset damage also with his Pugna Ward damage reduction. But Gabby...
it's just... I mean, how do you even stay in the lane now? It's...
Maybe Whitemon should have just started with like a Headdress or something. I actually don't even know.
He's already tough.
He's already used 2 salves, and he's gone through all of his regen. I don't know how Gabby's going to be able to farm up here. Oh, Netherward actually placed up a bit far. DJ.
They're going to try and jump DJ here with this, but he's got the 1 charges, and again, as soon as they get close to the 2 of them, Jab is ready to turn.
Ooh. Don't quite get the connection of the spear.
And they've got the creep wave as well, meeting in a good position here, FNATIC. On top.
Whitemon's gonna literally have 0 net worth this game, I think, in the early game. He literally just has to bring Tangos and Fairy. Tango and salves.
You gotta get more regen out here.
More regen for Gabby. This is when the carries just yell, you bring me more regen. And Gabby maybe, you know, having this Blightstone, maybe regretting not bringing himself some extra regen or even a stick. A lot of times we do see stick versus these spam lanes, especially that we saw Tundra kind of dictating that meta, but having no stick, you know, having that lack of regen is going to hurt. They get a pull off, but DJ, level 2 Scorched Earth, is going to just steal the pull. Going to take all that farm away.
And we're seeing in the mid lane, quite a good job being done on the denies here from Armel. 18 and 8 against the 13 and 1, so definitely able to slow down the speed at which Carl's going to get towards that 6 eventually.
It really, like I said, it really feels like they drafted themselves 3 winning lane setups. Bottom, I am seeing them trading pretty well, the Mars and this Winter Wyvern.
Bottom's going alright, Hefty.
It's going pretty decent. But Storm has to go back to base. Carl already getting pushed away. DJ checks the top rune. Armel's able to get the bottom one. And now we're definitely going to see Armel pull far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Being a Death Prophet, he's going to hit that 6 way sooner than the Storm. And obviously, Carl, you know, he wants to be able to get that maximum efficiency out of this area, not just sitting and soaking up the wave, but also clearing up the small camp. It's going to leave opportunities for Armel to likely get some very early damage in onto this tier 1 mid.
Carl even TPs to mid before he's full mana. So if you look, he's back to mid with half mana on the Storm Spirit. He just really wanted to come back to get XP, but this tower is going to probably get sieged really early on. 1 rotation from a support, and I don't know if T1 will be able to defend that. And look at top. So now they're not only just losing all their HP, but as we said, the mana burn. Whitemon's completely Gabby's completely another salve used.
I got to say, against the pressure that FNATIC are bringing, it is impressive that we are seeing Gabby still able to get farm.
Yeah.
24 and 3. They're investing a lot of consumables into it, but it is making sure that Gabby is still able to hit the creeps.
Yeah, I like that he bought the raindrop too. Just anything to offset this big burst magic damage that's coming up from these two.
Stupendous.
Hey, he's actually, you know, honestly, he's top in net worth. You are seeing Whitemon really feeling that pressure though. 500 net worth on the Pugna, but same thing on that opposing side. The Bane is also only 500 general.
Oh, so a very, very worthy investment. You know, the lane was designed to punish this PA. They are dealing with it, and Gabby playing it cool. He's not dying up here, and he's getting the farm.
Okay, let's see how they set up for this mid defense. Armel's 6. They send Zephyr over. Could mean that Cuckoo dies bottom because he's left alone, but Zephyr has to go mid to stop this push. Armel's going to pop the ghost as soon as he gets to this high ground rune.
So if he gets a nice one. Oh, that is
the dream.
The nicest one, really, so especially when you're looking to pop that first exorcism.
He's going to use it, I'd imagine. He's hanging on for a second. I thought he'd really just pop the Arcane and pop the Exo, even though they're there to clear the wave.
Top lane Chaps has to get out.
Okay.
He's popped the Arcane now, so you can only imagine that Armel will intend to use the exorcism with this first buff of the Arcane rune.
They might catch Zephyr even too. DJ's got positioning on him.
Yeah, here we go. Going from the side, DJ staying on top of the Wyvern, pushing Zephyr back, giving the space for Armel to beat into the tower with the exorcism. This is going to be a very early tier 1 tower taken out here, as it doesn't look like T1's really going to put any more resources into trying to hold this. So the TP over
They're
now.
Whitemon too.
Next wave coming in. Can the 2 supports really slow this down?
Doesn't feel like it.
As indeed, there we go.
Carl does make the move now bottom, though. They see that Raven's alone.
We're gonna have TPs coming in straight away in response. They got enough burst to kill the Luna. Strongwell's in. The spear does connect. Remnants under the tower, but the infused raindrop.
Oh, no,
keep Raven alive now. Carl, he's at very low on mana. That last bit allowing him to zip outside of the range. But he's so low, the Crypt Swarm from Armel will catch him. As the mid matchup, the 2 mid heroes having a vastly different game now. You know, Armel taking a 7-minute tier 1 tower, TPing to the bottom, killing off Carl, the enemy mid.
And that was a first blood 7 minutes in, too. A bit surprising to see it, but an easy move for Armel. Rune going to be spawning about 20 seconds, too. He's got Boots of Travel queued. He's looking to be everywhere.
And more 30 seconds, and he's going to have Exorcism ready to go again. Back over towards the mid. He's going to look to join here with DJ. Try and take down Zephyr. Another Crypt Swarm will do it. Armel's game getting stronger and stronger in these early moments.
Gabby's really gonna have his work cut out for him this game. A DD now spawns top. Armel, as you said, Exorcism's back up in 10 seconds. I think he's just gonna walk top with it.
Yeah, especially as with that DD. An extra bit of punch given to him that's going to allow him to take down some buildings if he wants to go for it. He uses it here to quickly clear up the neutrals.
I'll stop for a second, clear out that hard camp. And they're going to send the Visage mid. So Jabs, we did see him have a bit of a tough time after the Doom was making the rotations around, being left alone top. He wants to get that level 6 as fast as possible. He's gone Phase Boot and Ring of Protection, trying to get armor to deal with that PA in particular early on.
He's about to overtake the farm of Carl.
He is. Carl having a rough one. And as we said, Armel, there's even still a catapult top somehow in 8 minutes. A bit surprising. They glyph it.
See if Gabby's got anywhere to head back to. Looks like he'll be okay. No further dive for now from Armel. A little bit aware that T1 are slightly off the map. They've got the 3 of them down bottom, seeing if they can get a chance to get the jump on Raven, but he is into his own jungle. Hard for T1 to get the catch on Luna. And this top, what sort of defense will we have coming in? We've got a TP coming in.
Not level 6, still in, still 9 minutes in, so.
And on his own, Zephyr, how much can he do to slow this down? They've got the fortification.
I think they need, if they're going to try to set up this defense, they need Cuckoo. Visage is now shown as well, too. Jabs has the birds, so he's going to scout behind the tower. Zephyr.
Teeping up to the T1 are looking toward maybe doing something here to slow down this push.
Bringing Carl as well.
They don't want to let FNATIC get another early tier 1 tower.
It's scouted. FNATIC knows.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They'll stop the push for now. Doesn't go all the way down, so decent little stall coming out. And they will get it. Carl, finally, immediately sends the chat wheel. He's like, oh, thank God. I got a rune, and it's a good one. He gets himself an arcane.
Yeah, that'll boost up his farm, or, of course, you can save it, look to try and make a play around his teammates. They have got the big ultimates.
Yes, they do.
To set some action up with the curse, the arena, it's there.
Now it's much easier for them to potentially set up around those tower defenses. Have the initial setup either from a curse or a arena from Cuckoo. And we haven't mentioned Cuckoo too much, but staying toward the top of the net worth, doing a really good job in bottom. Didn't die at all, 60 last hits.
And just have John well down here. Getting the XP, he's got his 6. T1, if they do make any moves, high chance that John well could set up. He's actually going to look to come over towards the top lane. Let me see if they can get that kill and force down the tower. Zephyr's still the only one hovering around this area. He's got to be careful.
Oh, they're bringing the squad. Even Armel coming in with the bots. They really want to pressure this one. They really want to take this tower out. Carl, he has the arcane, as we mentioned. He's in the area.
And they do have the ultimate, so if Zephyr can find some sort of curse setup, they might have a chance to go ahead and drop it here onto the Visage. Zip forward with the follow-up, arena down into the spear. Defensive Nightmare coming in as John well looks to keep Jab safe, but he'll still go down. They'll lose the Visage. Carl trying for more. Keep to the side for now. Tower goes down. T1 making FNATIC pay with just the 1 life.
Brought the numbers, T1. Somehow Whitemon survives through it all, too.
FNATIC.
Smoke, though. FNATIC. With Exorcism available, looking for something. Power rune in 8 seconds.
Could look to simply sweep towards the bottom.
I wonder when Raven's going to look to get involved, too. I know it's a bit early to say stuff like that for a Luna, but with the Luna, with the Visage, the combo, with that Lucent Aura, Lunar Blessing, sorry, it is immense how much damage it adds.
FNATIC's already into the triangle here. John Well's got the Fiend's Grip if he wants to go for the quick setup. He's going to hold back Zephyr with the Nightmare. They'll definitely get the Wyvern. It's T1. Gabby makes sure he's well out of this area. He still needs time trying to get towards that Battle Fury first.
And now they'll actually just meet naturally to Raven bottom. So this is where they'll be able to take this tower in just a matter of seconds. And T1, it's just all about time and stalling.
It really is.
As long as they can for Gabby. 3-1. Low kill score, but feeling that gold lead especially starting to build up. Raven just naturally, especially as a Luna. With the 3 points in Moonglaves, he'll be able to farm a bit faster than PA till that Battle Fury is online. And T1 now, it looks like they want to. They're thinking about trying to defend down here, but it's already fully gone.
Yeah, they can't do anything about this push. FNATIC getting away with another tower. 13 minutes in, all 3 tier 1s taken away.
And that always gives you that extra little bit of value to be able to pierce in and find the PA when she is getting this farm going for this Battle Fury. But they do have to keep pressure up. on the side of FNATIC. They don't want to just sit back. They don't want this PA to be able to sit back and farm Battle Fury. Even though they have a Luna free farming, just because of that core-to-core matchup.
Radiant are scared.
Yeah, I mean, this will be sort of the go time, I imagine, from FNATIC, where they try and push it to the tier 2s. Once Raven has the BKB,
yes.
Dragon Lance, Yasha, BKB, that's the moment where Luna's going to have that very, very strong peak in comparison to any cores that T1 have.
Yeah, and they'll probably get, what, BKB timing on Luna and level 12 on Death Prophet, something along the lines, pretty similar timings. And I think it's also just force a Roshan, too, because if they just walk in with the BKBs, it could be hard. T1.
They're going to try for a fight.
Let's see.
Outside and away from Gabby, just with the 4 of them. See, they get the jump. Yeah, quick catch here for Cuckoo. Very nicely done there with the Arena and the Spear. No chance for Jabs.
Early blink timing. Jabs. It will kill the rune, though.
Deny on the rune.
Very annoying. But he'll lose a bird for it.
That doesn't get an invis, but gets 100 gold.
Great timing for Jabs, like we said. Or, sorry, for Cuckoo, as we were mentioning, as this Mars the blink. Picked up nice and early. And they do have some fragile heroes. Your Visage can be tanky sometimes, but when you have that many people committing, same thing for the Luna. If Cuckoo gets these grabs, they do have overwhelming burst.
Not meant to be.
We'll see what the next move's to be from FNATIC.
They're
20 seconds until Exorcism. And that might be the call with the next ultimate from Armel.
Looks like they're just starting it already. As we said, the Visage plus the Luna, max aura. Just watch these birds.
I mean, they know there's no arena, right? Still on cooldown for 30 seconds after that player mid from Cuckoo.
And they kill it so fast. And the Vlad's aura on top, too. Keep them sustained during all of it. Yeah, without the arena, I don't think T1 can contest it. Smart move from FNATIC.
No surprise there with the speed that FNATIC's playing. Armel, highest amount of building damage, 15 minutes in on any hero this major. And that's with a nerf Death Prophet as well. Still showing the strength that is the hero when you're able to get those early timings. FNATIC, there's Roshan, Aegis, it's theirs. Raven will grab it as FNATIC continue to tick off all the objectives that they would have hoped to get in these first 15 minutes of play.
15 minutes is an early Roche too at this lineup. And when they're the ones dictating pace of like objective taking and tower pressure, that means likely the next Roche is probably likely to go their way too, because Gabby just needs a lot of time before he can walk into this fight. They have to pretty much do everything without him, because until he has BKB, BKB battle, he'll just die. And Zephyr,
DJ is going to find him in the trees, and they'll just drop the Eclipse as well. Make sure the Zephyr, no chance for him to maybe turn with a curse or anything.
Nicely done.
As they get the kill, they can keep moving on, and honestly, but by the time that this Aegis does eventually come to an end 4 minutes in, you know, that's going to be the BKB complete on Raven. So very hard really to sort of see a window where T1's going to be able to take a fight and until sort of they get to that stage where Gabby's got the next item after the Battle Fury. Battle Fury is done. As I said, they still need time. They've got to secure safe areas of the map for Gabby to farm.
I think for the most part, it's still, name of the game is still just stall and get pickoffs. Pick off with the Mars Arena, just go for one kill anytime you can see somebody split up on the side of FNATIC. T1, yeah, it's just time. When Gabby has BKB, he can come to fight. Pre-BKB, no way he can fight versus this super magic damage-oriented draft that FNATIC has. He'll just die, just to like, literally the fodder. It'll be like a Soul Assumption, a Crypt Swarm, etc. Like, he absolutely needs this BKB to jump in. So yeah, T1, stall as long as you can. They go for even an Aether Lens on Zephyr, just so I think he can try to just de-push as best as possible.
For sure, and also just prioritizing the importance of getting those curses, really. Yeah. To have the chance of maybe even just finding these setups where you can instantly guarantee the death of one of FNATIC's heroes. And
they're going to speed up. They get the successful scan. They want Zephyr. Armel has level 2 ult, and the familiars will scout and push Zephyr away.
And they'll put the Exorcism in, make sure they can get a quick tier 2 tower, so they know that this is still at a stage of the game where they're probably not going to be met with any response from T1.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice micro from Jabs. Makes it really hard to play the Wyvern into the Visage familiars. But you see, like you said, the rest of T1 not responding, not overreacting, continuing to farm, split up. Carl getting fully healed up from Whitemon, from the Pugna.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But yeah, they still just need more time. This is going to be one of the lower kill score games I think we do have in this tournament.
18 minutes in, only 4-2.
Sit back, grab your drinks, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, it feels like that kill score is... It's not really... the low kill score doesn't really bother either side right now. FNATIC they don't care really about getting kills. They're happy to just take the towers and take the map, take the base. And of course, T1, whilst outside of Gabby, as you said, maybe they would prefer to try and find some pick-off opportunities. When FNATIC's going for these 5-man pushes, it's very hard to really seize that chance at all, as FNATIC just aren't giving it. And, you know, with low kills in the game, it does mean that it's meant that Gabby has had a lot of space, and that is showing in the farm. You know, despite the objectives and gold that FNATIC's taking off the map with the pushes that they're getting, you know, Gabby as the carry for T1, he's not that far behind Raven.
No, not at all. And it will quickly, I mean, if they even get one successful fight after BKB, he'll quickly pass Raven, probably Whitemon. The ward, it won't quite see him. Ooh, sneaky.
What can you do, brother?
Gabby. Still a couple of components away from the BKB, whereas Raven, he's got his coming out. There's still a minute left on the Aegis. BKB will be there to fill the spot once it goes away, and 40 seconds until Armel's ready to join and push once more. He himself having his own BKB done on top of the bots.
I don't think T1's too upset right now. Like, they're getting away
far
with this. Storm has BKB, Gabby soon BKB too.
Well, Cuckoo.
He might get caught here. Yeah.
Straight away. Johnwell with the grip. Raven coming with the damage of the Eclipse. Cuckoo will try and juke through the trees, but they'll see him. 40 seconds, no Mars. This should be an opportunity for FNATIC to go for another tier 2.
They have to take advantage of it, really. They do not want the pace of the game to keep being so slow for this PA to farm. Have to start ramping up, hitting these tier 2s, potentially even going for, I mean, not high ground just yet, but really trying to just force T1 back to their base as much as possible.
Radiant's top
Rune,
tower is under attack.
it'll be top. Jeff just kills it. Oh, all right. Didn't even want to go for it.
I guess he was concerned about a storm zipping in.
Yeah, looks like it. Gabby almost ready to fight. 800 more gold.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And in these fights, I mean, who would you sort of imagine Gabby's priorities are going to be when he's fighting during that BKB? You know, who's he looking to jump?
If he can just instantly kill off one of the cores, that would be best, but it's going to be a little tough because they are high armor. I actually think it's still probably the cores. I think it's the Storm's job in order to catch the backline, really. Okay.
Because I guess he does still have to be a little concerned about like the grips and the dooms.
Yeah.
That could heavily limit his opportunity from jumping to target.
But that's definitely, I think, Cuckoo as well as Carl's job to address the doom, address that Bane, so that the PA can just stand toe-to-toe versus Luna with BKB on.
Smoke time from FNATIC. But the Aegis, it's gone. The BKBs are there.
The scan is successful, too.
I know they're up here.
Oh, if they get Gabby right before... His BKB's coming on the courier. He'll be able to hop away, though. DJ. Unable to wrap around.
I would have potentially seen him and seen that he hadn't had it done yet, so maybe they might kind of get themselves into the trap of trying to fight, thinking that it's still not there, but of course, there's the delivery. BKB's done. Gabby, he wants to fight.
Now they can actually fight the team fight. The straight 5v5 is possible from T1.
Raven.
He split. Oh. Cuckoo.
There's the jump. Cuckoo quickly responded to by the BKB from Raven. He's going to be able to step out of the arena.
Gabby used his BKB. They now have to run on T1.
Now we see jabs off to the side. He's going to look to deal with Zephyr. See the rest of FNATIC. They are ready to continue to try and chase down this PA. They're moving in up towards the tier 2. Gabby will be able to get back in time despite getting doomed. He will live. It will just be Zephyr going down. T1 able to make sure that they get everybody else out of there. After, as you say, just a bit of a slightly early BKB. I guess Gabby, of course, very concerned that there would be some sort of jump or interruption after he was looking to commit in onto the Luna, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah, he's probably just, I mean, he's scared really just like an Eclipse, right? If Luna just pops Eclipse or something like that right there, he just dies, so you can see why Gabby does it, but immediately when that BKB pops, he needs the full duration of it to just fully kill Luna with this team. Armel, TP's top. Carl and Gabby are in the area.
See if they can take him out. Get the pullback with the Vortex. That's long enough for the physical to come in from Gabby. They take down Armel.
That is the biggest kill that they could get.
And they know it with the tips coming out as well. A very quick move sweeping towards that top lane, and one that Armel did not see coming at all.
They will be able to get that lane ward taken out. Genwell immediately takes it away. Is the way that they jumped. And now smoking again, looking for another one. Genwell. Shadow Amulet in position. They might be able to find Raven. He has BKB Manta.
DJ is hovering around at the side, but of course Doom's still on cooldown for a minute.
White
DJ.
Ooh.
He's hiding in the trees there.
That was spooky.
There were some pings coming out, but I think it was only from Armel, so from that angle, I don't think T1 ever saw him at all there. Nice little hiding spot in the trees.
Gabby able to clean up most of those Ancients too, and I believe now he has Shard finished up. So burst potential continues to grow. Gabby almost 18. Keeping up with the Luna. Very close game right now.
It really does feel, though, that the potential for this PA
It really does feel like it's growing.
It really, they may have got the early tier ones, they may have got a tier 2 top FNATIC, but to only be 2k up at this stage is definitely a concern. Jumping on the mid, Raven immediately reacts with the BKB. He looks back towards the Mars, he's got the Eclipse going, but Cuckoo with his own BKB will be able to step out of this fight. Neither side losing any heroes.
BKB versus BKB. Eclipse used and Mars ult used. Gabby still has BKB available. Dire scan comes out, but it's actually on a familiar. So I mean, they still know the area of where they all are, though. Gabby.
I've got to get something ready with DJ's Blink Doom.
White Mon, the ward is down. Something we always will have to factor into these fights too is Gabby jumps up. We'll be okay. Level 18 now, also acquired on the PA, so burst, as we said, continues to grow.
In an even game where a PA and a Luna has the same amount of farm, I know which carry I'd rather get behind.
Oh yeah. Especially when he also has a lot of different things to protect him, right?
Yep.
He's got 2 different forms of initiation. He's got the Pugna heals and Wyvern heals. Speaking of the Pugna,
see DJ. Just going to lead it onto White Mon. The curse to hold him back, but still the burst is there in time. They take him down. DJ nearly dying, though, to the damage that gets turned against him due to the curse.
The curse with the familiars, with the Lucifer, with the aura.
Well, they've still got more here around the river, maybe. They've got the arena down. They're going to look for the jump over. They've lost jabs. And may have set themselves up for a Roche opportunity. When Roche is there, can either team really look towards it? It looks like T1 are not going to try and force it. It's getting very, very close to the point where Gabby might be able to do so. He's going to opt for the more defensive progression here after the Battle Fury and BKB. He did have the Deso queued up, but he's going to get the Lincolns instead.
Yeah, versus Doom versus Fiend's Grip. Yep. The only things that he has to worry about piercing through his BKB really to control him. I like it. It's a bit unorthodox, but you see when we've seen seeing it happen like pretty much every time versus these Dooms they go for it. Even Carl queuing one up for himself. Gabby probably starting to feel pretty damn good about this game.
I think he is.
Getting the levels, getting the farm. And he has a lot of, as we said, he has the supports behind him to be able to protect him nicely too, and always going to have to factor in Nether Ward, the damage reduction. Also the Wraith Pact on the way. It's still quite a ways away actually for the Pugna.
Yeah, he has great heroes to get in and start the fight for him, and also excellent backup, these supports that will be able to save him. It's FNATIC. They may still have that 2k lead, but can't help but imagine that they would have wanted a whole lot more out of this first 26 minutes. I mean, we saw, what, 15 minutes? They were hitting all the timings. They took the towers. They got the Roche. But things have slowed down, and it never feels good when things slow down against a PA.
It feels like they almost have to force a Roshan pretty soon. It's not easy to just go in and do it by any means versus T1, but they will kill it very fast. So if they force T1 perhaps to the opposite side of the map and then try to commit into it, it's a possibility. They find themselves an Arcane and a level 18 DP too, and cool, he boots and travels into the familiar so they don't see him go into the pit.
T1 will still suspect that something's happening.
Yeah. Armel.
He's getting a little low.
A lot of damage.
The jumping has put the BKB, but the curse is there! Zephyr kills off Armel immediately with that ultimate. Carl zips forward onto Yabs. DJ will jump forward. They've got the grip. They're trying to lock down the PA, but the BKB was off in time. The Cold Embrace as well, healing Gabby back up. The Eclipse kills off Zephyr, but they've lost 3 FNATIC. They had to buy back on the 2, and then Raven, he's turning his ground. He's actually able to do so for a decent amount of time. And put the stick charge, the Nightmare, allowing him to dodge the spear. Raven's Shadow Ambulance, he's still alive.
Oh
Raven,
my God.
he's going to get out to the side of the fight. Raven will live as they keep the Luna alive.
Janwell, God, the save back-to-back, the sleep into the Shadow Amulet, protecting the Luna. It looked for certain that he was going to drop.
I mean, that was some incredible buybacks coming out from FNATIC. As the fight is theirs, and in a situation where it really looked like Gabby was about to pop off and kill everybody, he couldn't quite do it.
And you gotta give 100% credit to the support. You know, Raven holding his ground, he was confident, but the support play, my God, Janwell. Look at this again. That's without Armel. Armel dies instantly at the start of the fight, and Raven's able to hold his ground until the support plays.
Armel can't buy back.
No, he cannot.
So already it's in a position where FNATIC, they've got to really seriously consider if they want to try and commit the other buybacks to get the fight going back in their favor.
I mean, Janwell, God, that was insane. It's crazy how something that small can just turn the tides of it all.
Jabs as well with the familiar stuns. Just making sure that Raven had, as long as he had to beat back into it.
He would have died. The spear connection maybe even hits the tree, and then the Shadow Amulet, look, dodges the project. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing. Beautifully done.
I mean, it really has been a series where I feel like we've been pointing out the support play a lot from both sides. This game, FNATIC back on with the incredible performances. It's these sort of moves that absolutely keep you in a major.
And now Raven, that's pretty huge because he gets the Aegis, gets a shard, finishes his Scotty, and now pretty much has a crit done too. So a significant amount of gold going his way. Now he's 5,000 over the PA. They were almost dead even in net worth before that fight.
We'll see what happens next, but that fight absolutely could end up being the defining fight in this game.
Absolutely.
If they lost that fight there, FNATIC, Gabby's taking over, and T1's probably taking it. But as it were, they win the fight. They keep Raven alive, and they get themselves back up to the sort of advantage they need to have in a Luna versus PA matchup that before that fight was dead even. But now, off the back of that, Raven back up to about a 5k lead against Gabby.
100% agreed. And even picking up some pretty big items too after that because they win the fight. Now they have 2 components toward the Aghanims of the Doom, as we said. If he's able to get the Doom on the PA with an Ags, applies the break. PA will not be able to ever fight versus the Luna. Armel also has plate mail, so maybe a bit more survivable. But T1 still looking to go for the fight, perhaps. But into Aegis, gonna be a lot harder. Ooh, nice play from Raven. He even has his courier with his small crit for when the Aegis disappears. Kind of cool.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Gonna get the jump.
And DJ, but DJ has got the BKB, so Carl's not going to be able to finish him off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And T1, after they've sort of shown their hand there, they're out. They don't want to stick around for anything more, knowing that the rest of FNATIC's going to come hunting for them.
Raven, don't forget about your courier, though. I know you were using some cool micro to make sure you get your crit if you get gone on, but you gotta bring it back over. There we go. He remembered. He's not forgetting. Now the swing around. Janwell getting a ward up. This is gonna spot Gabby and Zephyr. Immediately setting up toward top T1. Keep having to stay together. Cuckoo just constantly following around Carl. Okay, bit of a deviation from DJ for the build. Just, I guess he saw the Lincolns on the PA. He's gone for a Force Staff on the Doom now. Just so he can break the Lincolns and get the Doom off. Before he just finishes up the Aghanims in particular.
See if FNATIC are able to push up towards the high ground, at least go for the tier 2.
I think they can threaten. I think they can actually poke the top tower, perhaps.
I mean, Raven's going to take the buildings pretty quickly.
They really will. If they take... Once the tower dies, too, it dies incredibly fast. Level 18 on the Visage, too. I mean, it's going to drop unbelievably quick, and there's no glyph.
They've got to do something, T1. But again, they don't want to commit too heavily. I mean, Aegis on Raven, whatever you do, you're going to have to do it twice.
Glyphs are bouncing.
I mean, the racks, they're just gone. They're not able to make a move in time. Now they'll try and go for it, but Raven out with the Manta.
It's cool, too, the way that they approach it. They don't waste Exorcism. They're like, okay, just the Luna go. In case they take the fight, we'll use Exorcism for fight now rather than going for push because of how big the Luna is. Onto mid-wave, pushing that into, looking for the tier 2, still having about a minute left on Aegis. And is that a full data list? I think it is coming out for the Luna.
Let's go for the Silver Edge.
Oh, it's Silver Edge. Okay, sorry. Oh, really good versus PA. Excellent. Much better option.
That's tier 2 tower. They're going to try and get the defense started. They push him back in with a spear. Still 40 seconds on the Aegis. We'll see if they can even burst through him the once. Raven pots the Manta, but he'll still die to the Remnant. He goes down. That's the Aegis gone. Still be able to continue here for the tier 2. They'll get it.
Dire's middle tower
FNATIC
has fallen.
continuing to get back on track with growing their lead.
Significant one now too, 12k. As we mentioned, the gem also picked up on Jabs, level 18. He's going to be going for the Wraith Pact for their side. And I think, guys, Whitemon's not able to finish his up, so it's going to take a little bit more time. Another item that we always have to factor in versus PA. That big burst is what the hero's all about. FNATIC's ready to fight.
Oh, they are. The question is if T1 out. Oh, T1 just they've got a DD.
Ooh.
DD for Gabby. Always got to look out for those. A DD on a PA could certainly turn the tide. Oh, but the stun!
stun!
Oh, they found the opening! They're in with the stun! They popped the linkers, but the BKB's still out in time for Gabby with the grip! Johnwell holding down the PA here from outside of the arena. The nukes coming towards Carl as the Soul Assumption takes him down. They've got Gabby. Gabby can't escape. As a second core falls, FNATIC, they're cleaning up the fight. Cuckoo, not a chance. Carl's in with the zip, but he's pretty much on his own. He's trying to take down DJ, but he cannot finish him off. He has to back away.
Oh, and the structures are going to drop so fast.
They have to buy back here. The tier 3 is going to go down. A second set of racks. It's in trouble. FNATIC, they're pushing on.
It's just dying too quick. Another buyback.
4 buybacks here from T1Us, but they can't push them back before losing a melee racks. FNATIC, 23k gold up now. A sizable lead.
What a play from Jabs. Right, I think he gets the double stun on both, I think, on the Storm and the PA, it looked like, to initiate the fight. And it just allows DJ to pick which target he wants to throw the Doom onto. Throws it onto the Storm this time around. Gabby unable to hold his ground. Now the DD gets popped after the fight, but look at this. It's so much damage. 4 buybacks, unable to get any kill.
And now the game absolutely in that position where T1, if any of these heroes pretty much, with those buybacks used, die, it's going to mean game over, series over, tournament over for T1 if they make any mistakes now.
Starting to feel so damn difficult. The 2 lanes are going to constantly push onto their side too, so they have to address them. So FNATIC, they're going to have a lot of information that's gained from those 2 Raxes. And as we said, yeah, Wraith Pact is now done. It wasn't finished before the fight, so now that it is finished, could even see T1, even if they get the jump, perhaps might just lack the damage. FNATIC feeling good.
Told you a storm was coming.
T1, they're still having the confidence to get out of their base.
They have to deal with top and middle wave, but now look at bottom. FNATIC knows they have double siege wave also. They might just be able to push with this. The glyph is available for T1, but the overwhelming damage that FNATIC does if they hit the base.
Raven's pretty much going to have a full satanic done for the next push. I mean, as you can see on the gold, 10k ahead of Gabby. I mean, how the game just switched up to 11 pretty much for FNATIC from around that Roshan fight. It was a make or break point of the game, and it seems to have certainly made it here for FNATIC.
And it's thanks to the supports. Thank you very much.
It is.
But the support play from the Bane.
I mean, it was Johnwell with that buyback. The Nightmare, the Shadow Amulet, he couldn't have done it any better.
DJ now, Aghanim's done, so harder game for the PA continues, and also level 25 on Raven, so 35 Lunar Blessing damage, as if he already wasn't amping his team much enough. The Visage Familiar's now doing 150 damage per hit, Owen.
Goodbye buildings, goodbye heroes.
Even more than that, actually, sorry, 170 when they're all together, so.
Have to refresh your orb now.
Okay.
For Cuckoo, so he'll have a solid chance of getting in and having a decent amount of lockdown, but they have to get the jump. And it's so hard, even when they do, as we're seeing, Johnwell could be in with the Nightmare and suddenly the combo's broken, and Raven has the chance to get the BKBs, Mantas, Satanics off.
They have to kill. He's gonna have to double pin somebody with like the same thing, right? Yep. Like he's gonna have to refresh and throw the same spear onto one target, and they're gonna have to fully focus fire that target. He also hits 20, so the spear duration is a bit longer. That could maybe be the little thing that edges him over, but FNATIC, they're gonna have an Aegis to play with and an Aghanim's.
Yeah, it's gonna be theirs.
Ooh, who do they give this to? Give it to Januel. Give the Bane the Aghanim.
I
Come
mean,
on,
you know,
baby.
I mean, John, well, he'll say he doesn't need it. And like, guys, I don't even need that to make the plays that I'm making. And
they give it a Raven.
Raven's just going to take it here.
I mean, it's the more sensible one, but Januel definitely put an argument for him to perhaps get it. It's one of the better Aghanims too, to be honest. But Raven will also just kill everybody, and giving it to your core tends to usually be the better decision. 31k gold lead. You know, we said we wanted a little bit of a difference in the gold lead kind of thing.
I mean,
every game is just a 40, 30.
It really is with these teams here today, isn't it? FNATIC and T1, they love to get a nice, juicy advantage.
They do also have Doom. All 3 games have been
That's
the team
true.
with Doom that has that insane net worth advantage.
He is a moneymaker.
Uh-huh. And here we go. How does T1 hold on?
A last chance here for T1.
Jabs is sneaking in.
Goot tries to get the early catch with the spear, but he can't get the angle. See Jabs watching from the side. The ghost are out. Fortification popped by T1. Jabs. He's gonna find the backlines. He's got the stone control. He's been able to take down Zephyr. That's Zephyr out of the fight.
And Gabby's doomed.
They're ready to push on Gabby, trying to run back to the base, but DJ stays on top of him. He goes
It's
down.
over.
No buybacks on him. The tips start to come out. This game, this series, it's over. GG is called. FNATIC will be the team moving on here for SE8.
What a game, really. This one was, it looked like it could have gone anybody's way until that Roche fight. They kill Armel. Somehow, FNATIC is able to stand their ground with that Luna, with the Bane buyback versus this PA who was keeping up with the Luna the entire game. What a game. That was an awesome one for me.
It really was all down to that fight, as you say, around that Roshan. You know, sometimes you get the games where you can pinpoint the moment. That was that moment.
It absolutely was.
That was that moment.
It was a pretty quiet game overall, too. Like, looking at damage numbers, the highest damage in this game was 22,000 from the Luna. Everyone else is sitting at, like, 12,000, pretty much. It's all about the structural damage, as you said. FNATIC played for the objectives, and it ended up working out.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It was always going to be interesting to see which team from SE8 will be carrying on. And as we saw, without a doubt, I think the fans at home, when they're seeing FNATIC pull off those sort of moves as a team, under the pressure here, down in the lower bracket, that's the sort of squad that you know, when they're turning up on that main stage in front of the crowd,